Damp roads, narrow roads, broken up roads, basically what I've got right here, and this is England. Now, the level of grip and traction that's actually available in this CLA 45 is actually, you know, I was really impressed with it straight off the get-go. I didn't actually expect it to be this good. Now, the car I had before this was a rear-wheel drive BMW 1 Series, just a diesel, not very powerful, although I did remap it, and you know, that took it to 170 horsepower. You know, still not loads. However, that would light up the rear wheels in first gear, second gear, third gear and fourth gear whenever it was damp and you were on like an uneven tarmac surface. And I kid you not, the only time the traction control kind of steps in to save my ass is off the line, and that's only when you completely floor it right down to the stopper, and it's just the initial bit where there's a bit of slip, and then straight after that, you know, through second, third, fourth, you can keep your foot absolutely pinned and you'll still be going in a straight line. You know, in an M3, M4, M2, anything rear wheel drive, try and do that. Try and keep your foot pinned all the way down on a wet surface up to 50 miles an hour. If you're still pointing the right way, I'll be highly surprised. And I know that because I was up against an M3 at a set of traffic lights, and you know, the M3 was just spinning up its wheels. I live in the northwest of England, and it's basically just raining most of the time. And trying to get 300-400 horsepower down on the road, you know, through the rear wheels, is a bit of a nightmare. You know, if you're in something like an M2 or an M240, whereas with something that's four-wheel drive, this the S3, RS3, you've got that confidence to kind of send it in the corners a bit more, and you know, have some faith that you won't end up in the bushes. Now, I'm not going to completely rag it right now because, you know, my dad watches these videos and he'll give me a bollocking. But the grip, it's almost like it's basically not wet. There is that much grip. You know, to get the car to understeer, you've got to really fire it into a corner, which, you know, I'm not going to do right now, but you know, and this isn't a massive car, and on roads like these, you don't want anything too big, anything too leery, because, you know, you will wrap it around a lamppost. control in the wet. It does struggle a bit with that, but pretty much every launch control on every type of car struggles in the wet. You know, it still works, you can still do it, you just sit there spinning up a bit. I tried it the other day in full wet conditions, and it was a bit weird. It was almost like having a bit of torque steer, and the car would lean, and then the moment you kind of back off and then go back on power again, it sorted itself. Now obviously if you are purposely wanting to go sideways, you're not really going to achieve it in something like this. It's pretty difficult in a four-wheel drive car. That's where you are better off with the M2, M3, any rear-wheel drive powerful car basically. If I get the opportunity, I'll try a launch and try and demonstrate it. I mean, it has dried up a little bit now, but it's still damp. It's still not a great surface, so yeah. A car like this, you know, when you've got four-wheel drive, it just gives you a bit more confidence, whereas anything else that's kind of on edge, you lose that confidence to actually push a bit more and enjoy the car basically. And another thing to add, the brakes, the AMG brakes that come on this car are fantastic, and you know, when you watch actual reviews of this car and say the S3 and other comparisons, they do say the brakes on the AMG are superior, and I can definitely feel that. I mean, it wasn't properly damp there, but there was very, like, absolutely minimal wheel spin, and most of the cars you'd be going sideways by that point. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it gave you a bit of an insight of, you know, what this car's like to drive in the wet. I've not really touched upon that, so you know, I live in the UK, it's raining most of the time, so it's something that is pretty important, to be honest. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.